Mighty Mouse. You're lucky. There I have a migraine. I feel terrible. You're really, really lucky. And I can barely speak correctly. But I cannot let this slide because this is really funny. So, Mr. Mighty Mouse, legendary fighter. Greatest fighter of all time, I guess. Well, that's what people say. I don't know about that, but skillful dude, so skillful. Can beat up midgets. Like good job. Expert in fights. Totally unbiased kind of guy. Let me move this a little bit. Let me just move this. Yeah. Let's put it center. Totally unbiased fighter and analyst. Big quotation marks. I don't know what he analyzes. If you ever watched the Mighty Mouse analysis, is really like, yeah, dude, just keep standing and keep pushing. Yeah. And then he shows up with his lines. He just draws lines. That is analysis. I've seen YouTubers and random dudes with like 2 subscribers do better analysis and deep dive than Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse, like Mighty Mouse shows up, watches. I don't know how he can do it. I don't know how he can watch a fight on YouTube and just have it all in with just pauses around. But totally not working with the UFC guys. Just a conspiracy theory here. No, they're not like Buddy Buzzy or something. Yeah, dude, he's a legendary fighter, and therefore he gets all the interviews, everything. Works in smaller like MMA promotion. They're like sponsored by the UFC. Just coincidence. So anyway, he's really angry about Strickland winning, and it coped a lot. Big cope. So we watched the entire video because it's really funny. I had to change the movie player because for some reason when you speed up, it fucks up the audio. Anyway.
We were breaking down Khamzat Chimaev taking on Sean Strickland for the middleweight strap, and Sean Strickland was able to beat the undefeated fighter in Khamzat Chimaev. So boys, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe.
I don't know why like this undefeated like aura is supposed to be important. I don't know why. Dude, he is undefeated. Yeah. Because he's fought no one like Strickland. Dude, he'd be Li Jiliang, dude.
Also, hit the bell to go live. We're going to do it from this side again. I'm not going to use the pen. I'm just going to break it down with my hands. Like, subscribe. Let's get to it. So here we go. We have Khamzat taking on Sean Strickland. Now, a lot of you guys, when you look at, the tail of the tape, 32-35, 6'2", 6'1", 185, the weight was the same. The reach was pretty much identical with Sean Strickland giving him an inch. So when it came to Sean Strickland's jab, it was pretty much, it's the weapon he uses against all of his fights. Against anybody he fights is Adesanya. You'll look at, DDP.
He uses his jab. He has Strickland has the best jab in the world, but like saying he uses his jab, like Kamaru Usman used his jab against Khamzat Chimaev and won 2 rounds. I don't care what anyone says. What are we talking about here? Robert Whittaker uses jabs to win fights. Other fighters use jab to win. Volkanovski uses jab to win fights. Like I don't understand this.
Anybody that Sean Strickland fights, you have to be aware of that jab because he's gonna pepper you up with that jab. There's no pop. There's no cadence change. It's pretty much the same kind of jab, cross, right hand. Right at the rip.
I love when people talk about Strickland and like diminish his jab and his punches. The problem with Strickland is that he's like the perfect example to put is like Aljamain Sterling on the feet. Like Aljamain Sterling is like great grappling, but usually does nothing with it, right? Usually just holds, gets position, just sits there doing nothing, right? Always. most fights. And that's why he lost to like Evlev, right? Because he would get it, get top position, and then do nothing, get reversed, and then get punched to lose the round on damage, right? And Strickland is kind of like that. It's like it doesn't go for finishes. He always just does the jab, 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 jab. But it's not because he's garbage. You see it when he gets like a little bit of like pop, and he's not injured, by the way. He was injured in this fight. If he gets like that slight advantage, he goes for the finish. He just doesn't push for the advantage because, you know, no legs, no arms. He's not like the fastest dude. He knows his limitations, so he's consistent throughout a fight. That's what Sean Strickland is. He's consistent throughout a fight. From round 1 to round 5 is Sean Strickland. Whereas on the fight that have like a great first round and then they die. So that's why he's so good. That's why he wins fights, and that's why he can like take down Chimaev on like a week's notice and fight, man, because he has that pace. It's always Sean Strickland. Right?
First exchange.
I don't even think Mighty Mouse has watched the Strickland Chimaev fight, so what I'm talking about.
Khamzat takes down Sean Strickland. I know I said I wasn't going to use epic pin, but I have to because I can't show you guys. So
here it comes.
You know, right here you have this.
Dude, I love Mighty Mouse, dude. Look at this fucking analysis, dude. Look at that. This is like a Daniel Cormier type of analysis. Just drawing on the screen as if I cannot fucking see.
This post that Sean Strickland was using to keep himself up from Khamzat Chimaev, taking him down to spring Khamzat Chimaev's fashion. He
using his leg as well, but you know,
loves to have this knee blocking out this leg, and then, you know, he's forced Sean Strickland to carry all of his weight. The cool thing about the cage is that it helps as a post, so you can post yourself up against the cage. What's going on, guys?
Fucking hate ads.
Agency of Scumming, a 2-time middle.
You're a hero. Peddling ads for gambling. What a great guy.
Weight champion. Okay, and right there's Khamzat Chimaev. He's trying to take out that post, but Sean Strickland is using that post to punch Khamzat Chimaev in the face. Typically, when a person's trying to get up instead of.
The reason to why Sean Strickland is punching is because he wants to make Khamzat move and not take damage. Necessarily, you know, he's trying to make him move. By the way, Sean Strickland gets out of this position anyway.
Punching somebody in the face. This hand is down to help him scoot his butt this way. I'm putting myself in the face, but it's all good. But he's using it to punch him. If you would put that hand down, Khamzat Chimaev would have grabbed it, run him over that post, and be able to start to force Sean Strickland to either turtle or go to his back. But Sean Strickland chose to punch him in the face instead. Great choice because
anyway, let's not. Look at the exciting video. Look at this.
And right there's Khamzat Chimaev almost getting to Sean Strickland's back, but Sean Strickland did all the right fights. He fought all the right battles. This battle right here is this battle right here. Fighting 2-on-1, protecting this because, and the other arm is underneath Sean Strickland's armpit, so he can't pull it out whenever he wants to, especially when you have those gloves on. Those gloves are almost kind of like a point where you can't pull it out. So once Sean Strickland got there, there's only so many things that Khamzat Chimaev could do. He could try to come on top for a mounted position, but if he was to do that, then he would have to let go his hands. And also Sean Strickland could be pressing Khamzat Chimaev up against the cage. So,
and most of all, Khamzat Chimaev doesn't know what is a back take. You know? You should watch Khamzat get the back. Usually immediately gets like a choke or he tries to get on top again. He's not a BJJ guy. He doesn't know what a back take is. He usually just gets confused. Like, if you see this fight, he will get the back and be like, you see this triangle. Look how weak this body triangle is. It's a weak body triangle. It's not even in. He's just holding for holding's sake. But he's not like sinking it in like a Tatsuro Taira or Pantoja or Oliveira or like some random Korean that come up that you always find that they get a fucking tight arm body triangle. And anyway.
At one point in time, I hated being on somebody's back in mixed martial arts because you only have so many options. But for me, I like to be in side control or half guard because you can do so much there. From side control, you can.
Who cares? Like, I understand this. You can just win rounds. It's just professional fighter thinking about what to do. You're winning. if you got the back, the only problem is that you can gas out your legs, right? But in terms of like winning, if you get the back, you just win rounds. How many times you've seen fights where the guy just gets the back and the round is over? I don't think the back is a weak position. I think it's a strong position to win rounds. But I do agree that mount and I'm pretty sure in the Terra video he said that mount is bad, but side control, I don't think side control is good either. I think the best position in MMA is half guard. The best position in MMA is half guard or full guard, but half guard is like the best position. Side control is not that good, especially near a cage. It's terrible, and side control is just nothing. Most of the time, people escape. Side control is like the easiest way to escape a position. When someone goes to side control, you're like, he's gonna back up. It always happens, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know about this because he doesn't watch fights. People have figured out side control. They figure it out. Like it's easy. Mount, if it's like Sean Brady, it's over. But if it's anybody else, you're not a blob, even that one is pretty easy to escape. The position that barely anybody escapes is half guard. Nobody knows how to do that because you're just locked in. And the perfect example is full guard and half guard is Renato Moicano versus Drew Dober. Is the perfect example, dude. You would just get the half guard, the full guard, and just punch from there and hold Drew Dober on the ground. Grappling, when the point of grappling is to not continue the grappling but escape the grappling, most positions are useless, right? The only good position are the position that make the other guy be stuck on bottom. Side control doesn't make you stuck on bottom, and mount doesn't do it. The only one half guard, but anyway.
Do key lock, Kimura, armbar.
Just this is fucking Mighty Mouse. You know, Mighty Mouse always shows up and goes like, you know, you go pa 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 1 2 pa pa pa. Kimura submission. That's it. That's the fight. Kimura don't work. Key locks don't work. Right? The only guys are like professional annoying cunts like Sean Brady or like Oliveira maybe here and there, but those submissions are not real. Kimuras are not real. Key locks not real. Straight arm lock not real. You see that stuff like a heavyweight because of shit. But if you go down the weight classes, they're not real submissions. They're not real. If you get stuck in a Kimura, it's because you suck in some way. There is no way in 2026 a professional UFC fighter gets fucking submitted by a Kimura. Right? You need to be like tired, like really tired, and just overwhelmed that you spent a lot of energy to like get out of takedowns. You fall down again, and then but it's like you're dead already. Like it doesn't matter. It could be like a choke. It doesn't matter. It's just a submission. But in terms of like fresh and most fighters, especially ranked and championship level fighters, those submissions are not real. It doesn't happen. Guillotines are more probable. A rear naked choke, and let's say armbars are not real. Like if you get stuck in an armbar, you suck. You know what I mean? Like it's just a fact. If you get stuck in a submission, it cannot escape it. It's not. That is not like a guillotine, a mounted guillotine, or like a rear naked choke. You suck. Those are like the most probable submissions because you just try to escape and get back from bottom, and then you get fucking caught, right? Think of like an anaconda choke, like, you know, that stuff, Darce choke. You get caught, it's over. If you're cinched in, it's pretty difficult to escape, right? But all the other ones, you need like a setup. You need, like, you know when someone's going for an armbar, right? It's not like random. Like, bro, he did a flying armbar against a fucking flyweight midget, you know what I mean? Like, Imagine Khamzat pulling a flying armbar. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna gas out 3 seconds later, and maybe hit his head in the back and die. You know what I mean? Was fall down. He gets KO'd himself. Yeah, it's, it's not possible.
Kimura, and then you can do gift wrap, go to triangle, you can mount, go to triangle. There's so much.
It's not gonna happen. Nobody gets mounted triangle. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen.
More options when you're in somebody's second control or in half guard. Where somebody's back, you can, do a body triangle, go for rear naked choke, you go to reverse triangle. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And you can do armbar from the back. But it's very hard to set those up. And you can't really punch somebody when you're on their back. You can hit them in the side of the head. You can't really generate a lot of power when you
doesn't matter. You want to win rounds.
try to hit somebody, like this. Yeah. But for me, I like second control.
You can, by the way, you could like scoop back on top and get like a body like that sort of Tera did against Moreno or whatever.
And now there's a point in time when you're fighting a guy who's not very good at grappling. Getting their back is very good, but for the most part, I like to be in, second control. All right, and there is Khamzat Chimaev. He has not a choke, but he's right on the jaw. He's squeezing, and at this point, you can break your opponent's jaw, but
you can break your, but you cannot break your opponent's jaw. You can't. We don't watch fights. We train. We train, you see, with Mighty Mouse. We train, but we do still know that you cannot break someone's jaw. They usually go out cold. That's what happens. You cannot break his jaw. You don't have the strength. Can it happen? Yeah, of course. Yeah, but on average, never happens. You don't have the strength to break someone's jaw. You don't have it. It's not real.
He was able to do it. Sean Strickland was able to survive it.
Yeah, bro. Sean Strickland survived that jawbreak. What a crazy guy.
Fight the top hand and live to see the next round. But, I was saying this in the first round is that all this moving around, throwing Sean Strickland around, it takes a lot of energy. And, the second round, when Khamzat Chimaev came out, he was kind of a little bit gassed. He shot twice and he gave up on one of the shots. Right here, once again, he has his back. You look where Sean Strickland's hands are at. Right here. It is.
Wow, dude. Thank you. I wouldn't notice that you were just holding his hand to stop him from choking him out. Wow, dude. I don't watch fights.
Armpit, hand on the hand, and he's blocking here. So right here, Khamzat Chimaev's chances, but his options to be able to put damage on Sean Strickland is very minimal. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan on being on somebody's back when it comes to a mixed martial arts fight.
I don't want to beat that guy. But you have seen Khamzat having ground and pound in his fights? I'm just asking. Not only that. Have you ever seen most fighters do ground and pound? Did you just like complain that he does every so often in his podcast? Fighters don't do ground and pound. Why? Well, the reason is because some of them are stupid. But most of all is because doing ground and pound is scary because you can get like randomly triangled or armbarred if you're not careful against certain fighters. But usually it's because punching leaves out you from position, right? You don't control the position, you're trying to punch, and the other guy can escape the position, right? That's why people don't do it usually. That's Surutera problem. They wouldn't want to let the van escape position, but he should have just thrown the punches, right? Anyway, this is why 12 to 6 elbow is so good, because you're not really escaping, you're not really letting the other guy escape position. 12 to 6 elbows is shorter, you can do it from on close and all that. Paddy Pilmer, Chandler, yada yada. You just watch that and you see that you just cannot escape. If it were punches, you could escape.
Right here, this is not the second round, this is between one of the rounds. Khamzat Chimaev is wearing Sean Strickland's jab on his face. If you guys have never competed before, if you've never done any, sports at an intense level, at a very high level, your body overheats, and so that's why you have an ice pack. I have an ice pack on my back and my chest.
Thank you, Mighty Mouse. Thank you for this crazy knowledge. How you put ice packs because you overheat. Thank you. Wow. Who cares?
And on my head, just to cool my body down.
Wow.
And that's what Arman Strickland is doing to Khamzat Chimaev.
Wow. Crazy.
All right, and here is the second round. He shoots takedown, and Sean Strickland defends it. And that was, kind of the beginning of, demoralizing, I felt like, for Khamzat Chimaev. Each time he shoots in mixed martial arts, I feel like his success rate of getting a takedown is pretty much 95%. But that last night, it wasn't that.
And we forget because it's just slightly before Khamzat Chimaev shot for the takedown, he was cracked with a punch. You show here a punch, but you don't mention it for some reason. Strange. He got cracked by a broken arm punch from Strickland. That's why he shot. He didn't want to shoot. He wanted to conserve the energy and not shoot for that round. But he had to because he was wobbly and bubbly. And so he shot and then he got reversed and put down. Then he got back up and he shot again because he didn't want fighting on the feet. And so then he got controlled all around the ground. Alright? That's what happened. It wasn't because he shot and didn't get it. He shot, he didn't get it, but before he got rocked. So that's why he shoot.
There's Sean Strickland doing what he does best with that beautiful cross. He also has a great jab to pair with it.
He's so angry, dude. He's so mad for no reason.
And there's that beautiful jab. Sean Strickland probably has one of the best jabs in mixed martial arts. His jab is pretty damn good.
Thank you.
You know, he never deviates from his jab or his cross. And right here, this was a big part of the fight here. Shoots, and then he pulls guard. You know, hey, honestly, now when we sit here, we think about it, pulling guard when you fail a shot is not a bad option, but I think there are better options. You fail the shot, you come up to a clinch work, and you start working knees and clinching elbows. But Khamzat Chimaev pulled guard.
I hate Mighty Mouse. Oh my god, I hate him. It's so fucking stupid. It's almost as if he doesn't fight. Let's listen to it.
Here, shoots, and then he pulls guard. You know, hey, honestly, now when we sit here, we think about it, pulling guard when you fail a shot is not a bad option, but I think there are better options. You fail the shot, you come up to a clinch work, and you start working.
Let's do the Mighty Mouse. Okay, let's see what happens here.
No, he never deviates from his
Okay, look, he shoots for a takedown.
And
he gets pushed his head down. Look at him. Look at his feet. And then look his other feet.
Right here,
he tries to get it anyway, pushes.
This is a big part of the fight.
Tries to escape because he knows he's like Sean stuffed it, right?
Here,
and he falls down. That's the reason. But the other reason is that he put all his energy into it.
Then he pulls guard.
I don't get it.
You know, hey, honestly,
does he think that every single fighter is like a flyweight? There's just a midget. Yeah, guys, I'm 5'6". I cannot speak, but you know what I mean? Does he think every fighter is a midget that has infinity cardio, infinity energy? And this dude is massive. You know what do massive guys do? Gas out pretty quickly.
See, no.
It's almost as if he doesn't watch fights. This is the only way. It's been like this for a long time in Mighty Mouse. He doesn't watch fight. He fakes it. Even when he does a breakdown, he's not watching them. He's just blind. If you watch fights, you would know that big guys gas out. Right? You will know this. That's why Sean Strickland is special, because he barely ever gasses out. The same thing with DDP, you know, DDP gasses out but still pushes, right? That's why they're special. That's why you see a lot of the top fighters in like the bigger weight classes, they have like a decent gas tank compared to other fighters. They just, after a couple of hits and couple of blows, they crumble because they just can't do anymore. They have no conditioning. But I don't think it's just about conditioning. It's about that. They're big.
Now when we sit here, we think about it, pulling guard when you fail a shot is not a bad option, but I think there are better options. You fail the shot, you come up to a clinch work, and you start working knees and clinching elbows. But
yeah, because that's what Khamzat does. Works knees and clinch and elbows. Like, what?
Khamzat Chimaev pulled guard, and that's when Sean Strickland followed him in the guard and started peppering him, and that was a bad look because I don't think out of his whole entire career, he's never pulled guard. And this scene right here, this is Armin Strickland trying to once again cool off Khamzat Chimaev.
Wow, dude. Great analysis.
I'm not sure how round this is, but it was a very tough fight. He had a very tough weight cut. Your rumors out there, he said he cut like something like 20, 25 pounds. I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll...
Making excuses for Khamzat Chimaev. Bro, he cut weight cut, do the weight cut, the heavy weight cut, 20, 25 pounds. Oh, no. When Islam Makhachev does it, nobody cares. it's a tough weight cut, guys. A massive advantage, by the way, on other fighters, but he does it. Nobody says tough weight cut. Right? When Dustin Poirier does it, he did a big weight cut. Nobody cares. All the fighters do massive weight cut. Nobody cares. Nobody goes and says about Alex Pereira losing to Adesanya, and it was because the weight cut. Nobody comes with that excuse besides me and some other guys. You know, Alex Pereira is not chinny, but at 185 he was chinny because of the weight cut. You don't go like, oh, the win against Alex Pereira, Adesanya didn't win because Alex Pereira did a big weight cut, so it's not a real win, so it doesn't matter. Like, nobody cares, right? If you're fighting in a weight class, that's it. It's your job to make the weight. It's your job to be in shape no matter what. It's your job to be in condition to fight. If you try to have a big advantage and that advantage just nukes you, it's your shit, your problem. But most fighters cut a lot of weight. For some reason now, the excuse is Khamzat Chimaev cut a lot of weight. What kind of excuse is that? Like, it's not an excuse. You're just making up stuff. That's what every fighter does. Most fighters cut a lot of weight between the fights.
We'll be able to get the opportunity to hear the actual weight he...
Ateba Gutierrez is not 185 pounds. He's massive. Morales, right? He's fucking 200 pounds at the camp. He's at 170, right? Brady is massive. Pantoja is big.
He did cut for this fight. And there's a picture perfect
Volkanovski, massive.
jab from Sean Strickland. You know,
Diego Lopez, enormous.
a lot of you guys think I hate Sean Strickland. I don't hate the man. Hate's a very strong word, but look at that beautiful jab.
Wow, dude. Look at this analysis from Mighty Mouse. Wow, look at him. He's even like concentrated. Look at him. Look at this dude. Look how concentrated he is. Dude, look at this jab, dude. But what? This is DC kind of bullshit.
Eye on the target. Pinpoint perfect. I mean, his jab is so good. The thing is with a jab, you're supposed to build off a jab. Jab, jab, kick, jab, right hand, jab, left hook, right hand, jab, right hand, pop, pop.
Yeah. Yeah, jab, right hand, jab, jab, jab. This is what Mighty Mouse does, dude. By the way, he never did it in fights, really. I don't know where. If you want to die, like, I think that combos MMA are overrated. I think simple shots like a jab, a two, a jab right hand, a jab left hook, but sometimes like it's not really a combo, right? Most of the time, you can call it a combo if you want, but like simple shots, even just a left hook, you just go feint, left hook, like what Peter Yan does a lot of times. I think combos are overrated. You're just gonna gas yourself out just throwing combos. I think simple shit is more effective because it's more precise, it's more power, it's more effective. You can cause real knockdowns, etc. A lot of times when you just swing for the fences with combinations, you just get taken down, you just get countered because it's predictable. You know, it's pretty easy to see when you're like swinging and you're in a combination, your defense is gonna go down. You see it all the time. You cannot just fucking put your hands up and down, you know what I mean, to protect yourself. You know, it's never gonna happen. Your hands will be down, you'll get hit in the face.
Pop, pop.
Hoofy throws like 3 punches and KOs you, you know what I mean? That's in the combo.
Different cadence, but there's never no cadence change. You know,
there is a change. He's not just jab, is jab, 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 jab.
He's got a beautiful jab. I would like to see him build off that jab, but honestly, he doesn't need to, right? I mean, I would like him to, but he doesn't need to. So, you know, what do I know? And
yeah, what do you know?
There's Khamzat Chimaev come up with his own offense, try to land right hand. So when you try to hit somebody in the head, when they pull it away, it's so hard, but what's left is the body and the legs. And you did see Khamzat Chimaev throw a lot of body shots, but it just wasn't enough to cause a lot of damage to Sean Strickland. And right here, here's Sean Strickland once again with that beautiful...
He won the 4th round from the body shots, but the reason to why he wouldn't like get anything out of it It's not because he didn't enough damage. It's because they were like, it was just belief that a lot of fighters have, is that if you punch Sean body, he would just let his hands down and you can just chin him like Alex Pereira. Sadly, buddy, you're not Alex Pereira. That's why they do it. They think you can do the Alex Pereira thing, but they're not Alex Pereira, so they lose against Sean Strickland. You don't have the power. That's it. That's it, right? You need to have pop to put Sean down. Doing pitter-patter body shots doesn't really work. Good body kicks in there, but they're like weak body kicks. He doesn't turn his hips, that much to cause a lot of energy. It's just like a tappy body shot. Those don't do anything if you're not like a shitty fighter, you know what I mean? If you're like Anthony Hernandez, maybe he goes down out cold from like a body kick, but if you're like a high level fighter, body shots are not real, right?
Jab, popping it in there into Khamzat Chimaev's guard, getting Khamzat Chimaev bringing his arm up, and there's a right hand that Khamzat Chimaev was able to block like this.
But that's the big problem. I love doing this. Is like MMA said, and just true. You see this? How he blocks punches? He blocks every punch like that. So it's pretty easy to like catch Khamzat in the face because he always, whatever you do, even if you throw a body kick, he does this. So that's a flaw because he's not a striker, he's a wrestler. And that's a big problem with like wrestlers usually. But in general, a lot of grapplers is that when they're stuck on the feet, they suck. I mean, because they never had to use striking in a fight to win. I get it, he chin GM3, doesn't count. It doesn't count. A lot of fighters you see, like fucking Grant Dawson is a perfect example, dude. If he's on the feet, dude, he's a fish out of water, you know.
Not in a position to counter because he's kind of like that.
Usually wrestlers shit their pants on their feet.
And boom, right there. There's that beautiful jab from Sean Strickland that always finds a home in all of his opponents, whether it's Izzy Adesanya or if it's Khamzat Chimaev or DDP, he's always finding it. And then went there. That's
it. That's all the fights. This is so funny. This is just the only fight Sean Strickland had. Izzy Adesanya, DDP, Khamzat Chimaev, Imavov, Abus, what's his name? Fuck. The Joker. Brendan Allen, yeah. And Uriah Hall, I think. And then let's go, Jack. That guy. And many other fighters. It's not just them, right? I get it. It's to make a thing concise. But the reason why I'm saying this is because Mighty Mouse doesn't watch anything else but one fight. Even forgot about the fight with Hernandez. Dude, against Hernandez, his jab was just like hitting Hernandez in the face repeatedly. Over and over and over again without anything else. And right hands because his arm worked that time.
There's a beautiful jab from Khamzat Chimaev. Textbook perfect. Right hands up. Boom, right.
Wow, dude. Great analysis.
Beautiful jab from Khamzat Chimaev. But it wasn't enough to be able to take Sean Strickland out of his game of throwing the jab. It was pretty much a jab.
What does it even mean? So you throw a punch. Let's try to get this. Like you throw a punch against someone that loves throwing punches, and landing it is supposed to taking them away from the game. I think that's stupid. Like what would work is like throwing high kicks, right? Throwing high kicks and body jabs would take them away from the game. But I think like kicks, leg kicks, hand fighting would work. Throwing a jab doesn't take anybody from any game. Like I don't think If you jab, you're just fighting. There is no, you're not taking anybody out of anybody's game if you jab, because it's just the basic of MMA is the jab.
Yes.
You don't know.
Right there. It was kind of a check hook from Sean Strickland, catching Khamzat Chimaev from open up, throwing the right hand, but he caught him there when he did that. And there's a beautiful right hand from Khamzat Chimaev. Now, Khamzat Chimaev did have some success on the feet when it came to the fight. When it came to the fight between him and Sean Strickland, it just wasn't enough to sway the judges in his favor, even though he had more control time.
I'm gonna kill myself. We're gonna get into this control time and advancing, dude.
Strickland did land more of the significant strikes, but Khamzat Chimaev did land more takedowns. So
it doesn't matter. You don't watch fights. You don't know anything. You're just a fraud. Get the fuck out of here.
It's based on what the judges wanted to score and what they deemed was more of a.
No, it's not what the judges wanted to score. You know, the judges are stupid. There's Sal Diamato on this fucking card. You know how it is. The judges don't, especially recently, because I think they did a lot of courses, like multiple courses they've done. Repeated courses, especially with like referee and everything like that to make. And there has been like the updated MMA scoring has been updated. We can see MMA scoring. Wait, MMA scoring judging criteria clarification. Alright, look, we got the members of the committee. There's Dean, Duganham, and all these guys, okay? My god, alright. It's stupid, dumbass boxing commission stuff, but you know how it is. Right? Look, it's made for you, literally dumbass, retarded people. Alright? They made it like this because a lot of judges would do a stupid decision, you know how it is. Damage. Look, legal technique, the result of which lessen an opponent's capacity or will to compete. Let's see. Takedowns. They're not here. Knockdowns. Having or consecutive, heavy or concessive, you know what it is. Legal strike to vital targets. Okay? Okay, like the head, the body, the legs. Legal strikes that force the opponent to retreat, readjust, or to default to defensive exclusively. Alright? Alright? Like you get jabbed to the face, you go back, and you need to like restart yourself, okay? Striking and grappling that lead to visual injury, swelling, hematomas, laceration, or bruising. Alright? Grappling or submission attempts that amputate joints or blah 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 rotation, okay? Chokes that cause visible distress, okay? And there is none of this, alright? Dominance. Forcing an opponent to continually defend with no counters or reaction when blah blah blah. Staking a dominant grappling position. Look, staking a dominant grappling position and continuously forcing the opponent to defend, potentially fight, any submission and attacks. You see? You see this? You see this? This is what grappling when is counted. So what I mean is that, let's say you take down someone, you punch him, you knee him to the thigh. Alright? That's grappling is counted. If you just take him down and do nothing, it doesn't. You can hold someone down for 3 minutes, but if you reverse the position and he punches you for 1 minute, he wins. Okay? Alright? Maintaining an overall pace with any combination legal techniques that continues to force the opposing fight to be in a defensive or reactive mode. Right? Sean Strickland wasn't like that. He was jabbing and blocking and jabbing back. He wasn't reactive, right? He wasn't consistently in defensive position, right? Alright, and then you got the other. Successful striking defined as a legal strike result in damage. Successful grappling, look, defined as the execution of grappling skill proven productive by the damage resulting from takedowns, reversal, submission attempts, and achieving an advantageous position. Holding against the cage with a body lock is not successful grappling if you do no damage with it. Alright? Now, You see here, we will talk about this later. But you see, this is like the last. It's the last. This, I will read it to you and then we talk about it later. The effectiveness of a fighter's successful. I can't speak. I have a migraine. I told you. The effectiveness of each fighter's successful striking and grappling, as defined above, will be a determining factor in the scoring of the vast majority of the rounds. However, if a judge absolutely cannot determine even a marginal advantage, right? In either, the judge will defer to aggressiveness or fight area control, whichever impact the round is more significant matter. So what does this mean? Let me translate it to you, Mighty Mouse, because you're retarded. This means, okay, that if a fight is 50-50 and fuck all is happening, this is what you count. Perfect example, Reyes versus Walker. Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas. Those are the perfect example for this, alright? But in general, it doesn't matter, okay? We'll talk about this later.
Damage and what was scored higher.
Damage is scored higher than holding.
I mean, that's the thing. We have a criteria that we try to score the fight on, but do we actually follow that criteria? Like,
yes, we do. Yes, we follow the criteria. Yes, it's here. It's here. You can read this 3 pages. You see it? You see it? Yeah. Here we go. It's here. It's 3 pages, bro. It's 3 pages. Not that much. You can just look it up. Fuck's sake. It's here. You can just read it. Alright? Swear to God. Some people are just coping so much.
If I control somebody for 6 minutes and, you know, they outlanded me, but I pressed forward in the fight for this long and it scores high.
They outlanded me. I control them for 6 minutes. I don't even know how that works. What do you mean control for 6 minutes? What does that mean? Does that mean 2 minutes each round? Or does it mean 1 round 5 minutes, then 1 round the second round? It means a lot of things, right? It doesn't...
on that category. Do you guys even give me points for that? Or you guys just like, oh, you won that. You won that.
You don't get points. You get rounds. You win on rounds, not points.
Category, but we don't give a shit. That's what I was kind of...
The points in rounds are based around dominance, like a 10-8, a 10-7, a 9-9, or whatever. But you win rounds. And it's pretty obvious who wins a round if you watch fights.
It feels like. But once again, there's a beautiful right hand from Sean Strickland. Pinpoint, looking down the pipe, landing the shot as Khamzat's turning away. Beautiful shot from...
But you know, Mighty Mouse doesn't watch fights. He watches the main card of numbered events.
Sean Strickland. There's Sean Strickland.
And maybe easier as the signing and losing. You
know, pulling away as Khamzat smashed on him. Once again, textbook perfect jab.
Wow, dude. Look at that jab. Look at that. Look at this jab, dude. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this jab, dude. Look at that.
Hands up. Jab's going. Beautiful jab. Doesn't land, but...
Doesn't land. Doesn't land, but it's beautiful.
Beautiful jab from Khamzat Chimaev. And there's Armin Strickland. He was in the corner of Khamzat Chimaev. They're very close. They train together. And...
Thank you. I didn't know about this. Thank you so much, Mighty Mouse. I didn't know they were friends.
He was not very happy about how the fight turned out.
Wow. What about the fight?
Out, but it is what it is. So these are one of the things I like to do when somebody's throwing a jab and they repeatedly keep throwing the jab. Is you throw the jab, you slip outside, you throw the one, and the jab goes right here, or you try to time to come inside with the overhand right. Hardest thing about that is you have to come over the shoulder.
I just like if you listen to him, like I know Jack Slack hates Sean Strickland, but usually Jack Slack like tells you about the history of boxing or whatever, right? Or he tells you about this guy said this, or there's like a certain history and techniques and textbooks, and there is a precedent with other fighters. Mighty Mouse just said, I do this. Like, he's just saying words, right? He's saying, I like to throw overhand. I don't think that's how you analyze fighting. In reality is, if someone throws a jab, you can slip it and counter them. That's what every single basic boxing teaches you, is that the point of boxing, really, for the most part, is parrying the jab, dodging the jab, using your own jab to counter the jab, punching over the jab. And like the whole game is about countering the jab, because the jab is the most common weapon and the longest weapon as well, right? Dude, I am just a random guy from Italy, and I'm like, I know a little bit more about the fundamentals of the sport, and this guy does it for his lifetime.
And you're also going in the line of their right hand. So you have to pick and choose which way you want to do it. So I like to go either to the head or to the body. You go to the body and you don't pull out. You go to the body, you switch to southpaw, you go to the left, you go boom.
Analysis on Mighty. I love Mighty Mouse when it does that. Yeah, bro, you just pull back and hit the body, and the other guy just watches you doing it and doesn't move.
And there's the jab exchange from Khamzat Chimaev once again, landing that jab, dropping his head in there, looking. It essentially became a jab each other to death. There's Khamzat Chimaev's jab again. And one of the things that I read today or heard today is Khabib Nurmagomedov talked about, like, you know, his game plan. He never did him a game plan, meaning that when Khabib Nurmagomedov would fight, he would take the person down. So if he shot and he failed the first one, he shot again, he failed, he will continue to shoot until he got that takedown, because he knows that's where he's going to be able to break his opponent.
First of all, sauce. Second of all, Khabib just fought completely different than Khamzat. Khabib will punch you on the ground. Khamzat doesn't do that. Khabib didn't care if you go back up. He would take you down again and punch you again, because, you know, his stand-up was stinky. But
Chimaev, he shot 3 times.
Like, Khamzat has a better jab than Khabib. Khabib was fucking dog shit on the feet. Jesus.
He got it. The other 2 times he failed it, and then he shot again later in the round. But he kind of deviated from his game plan. So, all right, I'm just gonna jab. You know, for me, when I fought Henry Cejudo the second time, you know, I don't really have a game plan when I fight. I try to look for my opponent's deficiencies during the fight.
That's retarded, by the way. Yeah, dude, I just go around and have no game plan. This is so stupid. Fighters are retarded. This is so stupid. What do you mean you got no game plan? What do you mean you just go out there with no game plan, dude? It's stupid. But what do you mean you do no game plan? Why? It's so dumb. Fucking people that play Pokemon Nuzlocke game plan. You, a professional fighter that put your life on the line, don't do it. So stupid.
I knew I couldn't take Henry down because his grappling was so good. And so I found a lot of success in kicking his legs. And I outstruck Henry Cejudo. And I felt each time he took me down, he wasn't able to do any type of damage. He never got any type of submission game going off. So I relied on staying on the feet, and the judges still gave it to him, even though I outstruck him, but he took me down more. So with this...
First of all, you can call that robbery because they wanted to kick you out of the UFC. Second of all, when was it? Was in 2018. Refs were still retarded, mostly in 2018.
Fight, you know, Khamzat Chimaev took it down a lot more, but he wasn't able to...
When was the... Wait. Scoring criteria. The new rules came in 2020.
So he relied
so it
on
was a
feet
different scoring criteria, I think.
So there's different ways, you
That's
know, when
the
you
reason.
start looking at this, how to break it down, how do you win.
I think the scoring criteria was like different at the time. Like takedowns were valued more, I think.
A lot of people felt Sean Strickland won. A lot of people felt Khamzat Chimaev won because it was a split decision. I'm right here, and this was a takedown. He was able to succeed. I believe it was in the 4th round that he went for the takedown. And the thing is, he was able to take down Sean Strickland. He just wasn't able to do anything with the takedown. Now, we don't know how.
But he won the 4th round. We have the scoring. He won the 4th round.
The judges view that in their eyes, obviously not very high, because he landed like 8 takedowns, and then he gave 2 shits about it.
Yeah, because fights are scored by rounds and not by takedowns.
Beautiful takedown from Khamzat Chimaev.
Wow, amazing. Look how pissed he is.
Another jab from Khamzat Chimaev that lands on Sean Strickland. I think he broke his nose. Beautiful cover of his head. Right there. And this in the fight, they embrace each other. You know, Sean Strickland says he's not, you know, they were on good terms. They never disliked each other. He was just trying to sell a fight. Right here. And then let's take a look at this. So you have 98 to 133. He wins it. Right?
This is not how it works, by the way. Like, what is this? I think I was gonna say something really racist, but that's not how statistics work. You see, it's fight statistics. You see it? Statistics. Fight not round.
So we get this win to Sean Strickland. 43% advancing. Okay, we don't know how the fuck they scored advancing.
We don't know how they scored advancing. They don't know it, guys. They just don't know how you score advancing. I just don't know. Aggressiveness defines as consistent offensive effort. Is this fight area control, defined as detecting the pace and place of the position that the bout is contested. Is this one? You see it? You see it, Mighty Mouse? You see it? Yeah? That is that. Yes. Alright? It's here. It's here. In the score criteria. It's here. It doesn't count, really, besides when the round are really close. And the round wasn't close. It was clear Strickland because he just struck him and got back up on takedowns.
We don't know how they score, boys. I don't know how they score.
I think like he's retarded because he's just looking at fight statistics and goes like, this is how people score fights. This is go to the sport, by the way.
9. He wins that category.
There's no such a thing as winning categories, by the way. I don't know what does that mean. Winning category. Do we go even with like leg kicks, body kicks, and jabs to the face? Like, do we count? I landed more to the head. You landed more to the body. I landed more to the legs. Therefore, I win. The fuck?
And then 6 minutes of control time.
Like the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes were in the first round. It's a 25-minute fight.
He wins that. So if
he doesn't win that. There's no such a thing as winning control time. It's not like something you win from. It's just a statistic. It's just that. It's not important.
We have 4 categories, and I beat you out of those 4 categories. 4 out of 3. That means I should win the fight technically.
No, you shouldn't win the fight. Don't look at me with that stupid. I'm gonna say a racist word, face. That's not how it works. You're just coping. It doesn't matter how much control time you have. It doesn't matter how many takedowns you land. Merab, let's go like this. Let me show you one thing. Look at this. Look. Right? We got knockdowns, strikes. Merab landed more strikes. Does that mean he wins the fight? Because he landed more strikes? Yeah, but Peter Yan landed more significant strikes. Oh, bro, Peter Yan landed more takedowns. But look, submissions, more submissions. That means, what? That Merab won? That's stupid. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Right? We played rock, paper, scissors 4 fucking times. You beat me once and I beat you 3 times. I believe I'm the winner.
Rock, paper, scissors is not a fight. It's not a fight based on rounds, and it just makes no sense. What? What kind of analogy is rock, paper, scissors? Come on.
So, with that being said, I don't know why they show these fight statistics.
God, I'm gonna fucking rage over here. You're lucky I have a fucking migraine and my head is exploding. What does that even mean? If you watch any fight, you will know they always do this. It's because it's stats for nerds and because they love putting stats. You know? Look, you see this? Stats. You see it? That's it. Alright? They love stats. And usually they use certain stats to, like, confuse people like you because you're stupid. Usually in the Israel and the Sanya fights, they love doing that. Yeah, bro, he's advancing. Dude, the feints.
Because if I never watched the fight and I look at these, I would assume Khamzat Chimaev won the fight.
Let's listen to that back, because that's really funny. Let's watch this back.
Statistics. Because if I never watched the fight and I look at these, I would assume Khamzat Chimaev won the fight. Statistics. Because if I never watched the fight...
If I never watched the fight... Yeah, because you're supposed to judge fights not on statistics, but on rounds, and you are supposed to watch the fights and judge them round by round, and not just based it on random numbers. You don't judge things based on numbers, you watch them. Alright?
And I look at these,
for fuck's sake, you
I would
dumbass.
assume Khamzat Chimaev won the fight. So I think they either have to put some stank or some respect on these numbers, or fucking get rid of them.
If I land 500 strikes in the first round, and I land 3 takedowns in the first round, I may get 10-8, let's say. Let's say it is a 5-round fight. I got a 10-8 in the first round. But in the second, third, fourth, and fifth, it's just a stand-up fight. And I land 2 strikes. And my opponent just lands 20 strikes on me each round. Right? It would be 80 strikes. I would have landed 508 strikes. And he will land 80 strikes. 0 takedowns. I land 3 takedowns. Doesn't mean I win. Just because I had a good round doesn't mean I win. The fight is judged for its entirety, not just numbers. You should know about this. You're a fighter.
Because it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything of why the athlete won or why he should have won, or I don't know why. That's like showing me a bank account that has all these numbers in it, and when I go to the bank to try to pull that money out, it doesn't exist.
What does that even mean?
That's what I feel right now in this position. So I think they need to do more clarity of why show me these numbers if they don't mean shit.
It's just statistics. It's just stats. That's like the most important stats, right? See, individual strikes, how Khamzat advanced throughout the fights, and the takedowns and the control time. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no submissions because there weren't that many submissions. These are the most important stats of the fight. But what it matters is the judging criteria that you should know, fucking dumbass, because it's your fucking job, and it's your job, right? It's your job to know about the scoring criteria. It's this. This is the scoring criteria, okay? This: dominance, duration, successful striking, alright? Damage, you see it? Here we go. It's this. This is what is scored. For fuck's sake. Read it 2 times a day when you wake up and when you go to bed, and then maybe we can talk. Alright, for fuck's sake.
That's just the feeling I get right now. I'm looking at it. Granted, it is fucking 10 o'clock at night. But yeah. Let us continue.
Why is he laughing like he made a great argument? Fucking moron.
And right there, there's Sean Strickland stomping that beautiful foot on the ground. He's very excited because a lot of people doubted him. I'm one of them. I thought Khamzat Chimaev was going to work him. I thought he was going to ragdown him. I thought he was going to get it down.
Yeah, of course, because he had a broken arm and he was terrified.
Pass his guard, get his back, look for the choke, ground and pound, and that's it. But
ground and pound. Ground and pound. Since when?
Sean Strickland proved the whole world wrong. This is probably the biggest upset of the year of him giving Khamzat Chimaev his first victory loss on his title fight, on his first title fight defense. A lot of people don't realize it's easy to become a champ. It's hard. It's even harder to stay champ. And this right here, Khamzat Chimaev literally walked up to me after the fight and said, I want to move up. I don't want to fight in this weight class anymore. Now, I don't know if this is due to the weight cut. I don't know if this is due to him losing to Sean Strickland. I'm not sure where this come from. But when you look at this, you know, it was a close fight. He just made some minor mistakes, and Sean Strickland was just able...
Minor mistakes. Which were which were my mistakes were fighting like Khamzat Chimaev. What were the mistakes? I don't know.
Well, to put him in that jab range and the cross range. And is it the weight cut? He used to fight at 170. Now he's at 185. He is getting older. How much has he put into dietitian? I'm not sure. I'm not in this camp. But I like to see him stay 185, fight somebody else, have him fight. I'm not sure who's the top 5, but I like to see Sean Strickland defend his belt against Nasruddin and have Khamzat Chimaev fight somebody else. I don't want to see an immediate rematch, but if they do want to do an immediate rematch, then fine, I'll watch it. But I like to see something else. And then Khamzat Chimaev tweets out to Sean Strickland, see you soon again. Maybe they mean training, I don't know. And there's Sean Strickland with the middleweight strap, with a beautiful jab and a beautiful cross, walking out octagon as a 2-time middleweight world champion in the UFC, beating guys like Izzy Adesanya and Khamzat Chimaev, 2 of
crying.
The best middleweights in the world.
Let's not exaggerate. Izzy Adesanya, let's not exaggerate.
For Khamzat Chimaev, I like to see him fight Nasruddin. I think Nasruddin has earned it. I wouldn't mind just seeing what he could do against another guy that's, worked his way up. Or I would
he already beat him on short notice.
Love to see Michael Morales. That'll be a great fight as well. So boys, if
what?
That's worked his way up. Or I would love to see Michael Morales. That'll be a great fight as well.
Who? Michael Morales.
Middleweights in the world. For Khamzat Chimaev, I like to see him fight Nasruddin. I think Nasruddin has earned it. I wouldn't mind just seeing what he could do against another guy that
he won.
Worked his way up. Or I would love to see Michael Morales. That'll be a great fight as well.
Who the fuck is Michael Morales? He's a welterweight. Does he mean Borja? I don't know.
So boys, if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, please leave a like, subscribe.
By the way, the big reason to why Mr. Sinister, this dude is really mad that Khamzat lost. What is it? It's because of this. Look at that. 1.7 million views. Look at that. That's why he's pissed, because otherwise, when there aren't Arman, Yuri, look, but when it's like this, 100, Yuri losing 91k. Yuri showed mercy 66k. Merab 113k. Aljamain Sterling 59k. Nobody cares about Aljo. You know about this. Rotang. Oh my god, guys. Rotang. Khamzat Chimaev. See? Abuse. Look at this. You know how it is. 93,000 views. Mike Perry 37. What I mean is Triple C 27 views. 27. Look, 41k. No, Volk, yeah, pretty good views. Arman, look. He needs the name value, otherwise nobody cares about Mighty Mouse. Arman, you see, 1.9 million views. No views. Random Kaisenat guy. You see? He needs that name value, because by himself, he's no one.